Our best rod and stave activities are valuable movement games to play with older students, adolescents, and adults. By their very nature, these wooden rods invite precision, patience, posture, persistence, and playful fun for each individual. Partner and group activities up the ante when your neighbor's success and safety is at stake, and it's your responsibility. In this educational video, Dr. Edmund Knighton and our workshop participants show teaching tips, clear step-by-step progressions, and the important safety guidelines of our best rod and stave activities.
Welcome. We're going to do a balancing progression here, starting with taking this rod, which is either a hardwood or a softwood dowel. I recommend, whenever possible, using a hardwood dowel. This one happens to be walnut. The ones that you folks have are pine. They're softwood. Those can crack a little easier and can splinter. The hardwood is a little bit more sturdy for exercises. The first thing we'll do is have the right palm out and place the bottom end of the rod in the palm, and then balance the rod. And the tip here is to focus on the tip, the top of the rod. So this is the first stage in a many-stage progression of balancing for the rod. The tip is to watch the tip of the rod. Try to make sure the shoulders are relaxed, the knees are slightly soft. Keep the gaze of the eyes soft. So no need to be hypervigilant with the eyes. Once you feel comfortable with this, you can give a light lift to the rod and pass it over into the left hand. And feel free to go back and forth. A couple of tips here. Just lift the rod up in place and move the hand to the spot, rather than feeling like you have to lift the rod over from one side to the other, which makes it a little more difficult. Although you can certainly try that if you like. Once you become comfortable flipping from hand to hand, you can flip onto the back of one hand. And then onto the back of the other hand. Focusing on the tip, and then if you like, you can focus on just the index finger of the right hand, and then give it a little lift, go to the middle finger, little lift, ring finger, little lift, pinky, little lift, thumb, lift to the back of the hand. Just to try adding a little bit of dexterous quality to it, dexterity. And to be playful, you could hold it on the pinky of the right hand, flip it up, flip it onto the back of the left hand. If you've gotten to the point where you're somewhat relaxed with the back of the hand, the next step is to go from the back of one hand to the back of the other. Just try it out for the end. Some students will be at all different levels of this, and that's the nice thing about working with rods. Some kids can still be at the beginning, just starting with the basic rod balance. Some of them will be at the point where they're flipping back and forth from the back of one hand to the other. If you find yourself getting nervous and tightening, take a break. Take a breath. Feel your feet. Soften your knees. Don't lock out anywhere in the body. From the hand, we'll just move up to the other joints of the body, starting with the right elbow. You have a little less range of motion with the elbow. You're imagining, if anything, that the rod is ever so slightly tilted back toward the body. That way you don't end up running after the rod, which can endanger your friends. So it's an imagination. The rod is really upright, but you imagine it's tilted ever so slightly toward the self. We'll place it on the left elbow, always staying balanced when we're working on balance. You'll find one arm is usually a little more at ease than the other with the exercise. Sometimes it surprises you that you're non-dominant. Again, focusing on the tip, it's a soft peripheral gaze. The eyes are smiling, they're relaxed. It's a little dance with you and your rod. That's it. You see how the left arm is a little bit high to keep the control of that rod. Using the hand that's not balancing as a sort of scaffold. And when you feel you've got a good upright connection there, releasing it. From the elbow, we go up to even a more restricted range of motion. This is quite challenging usually, is the shoulder. And again, use the hand to scaffold. Look at the tip of the rod. Keep the knees soft. Keep yourself aware of yourself in the foot. Keep the breathing alive. Feel a sense of balance coming down through your own body, and then just have fun with it a little bit. You may be moving a little bit on this one. Try the left shoulder, try the right shoulder. Just notice the difference when we have a decreased range of motion to find balance in the rod. Keep yourself aware of yourself in the foot. Keep the breathing alive. You may have to move a little bit with the shoulder because of the restriction of the range of motion. The whole body has to move to adjust rather than always better to catch the rod as soon as it falls out of alignment rather than to try to correct it. You'll end up moving over into one of your peers' space and you may injure them or yourself on the way. Good. From there, we'll go toward the knee. So you lift your right knee into the air. Look to the tip of the rod if you can, or if it's a little easier for you, then look off in front of you. But keep the rod in your peripheral vision. Get as much of a connection as you can to the top of the rod. So you're going to feel your balance. Again, take your time, place the rod, notice already what happens, and then just get playful with it. Again, ever so slightly towards you, the rod will come, rather than ever so slightly away from you. Try to get the rod balanced, focus on the tip. You just be playful with yourself and gentle, realizing it's quite a challenge. You're balancing your body, and you're trying to balance a rod at the same time. You can move a little bit laterally with the knee to help you keep the rod in balance. Good. So then from there, we'll go on to the chin. Try to keep the neck as relaxed as possible. If it falls out of alignment, you just grab it as soon as possible. That one went away. Imagining the rod directly over the head. And then you try the Pinocchio, where you place it on your nose. The vision's a little more challenging there. Sort of makes you cross-eyed at first. Again, imagining it back over the body gives you a little bit more control. Moving the feet as necessary to keep that tip in the same imaginary point overhead. From there, we'll try the forehead. Give your neck a second and your equilibrium. Make sure your gaze comes back to normal. And place it on your forehead. And you may have to shift it a little bit on your forehead to find the right place where you can still see it and find a place of balance there. It may take a couple of tries to place it on the head. A little bit more choice on the forehead about where to place it. Just, again, be playful. If it doesn't quite work, try it somewhere else. Try it a little lower, a little higher, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Good. And then we'll place it onto the right foot, the top of the foot. First thing, just lift the foot a half an inch from the floor. Get a nice sense of balance first. And then again, watch the tip. Much as possible, try to keep the tip in the same place. Realizing you just did the forehead balance, you may be a little bit dizzy. Get yourself back in your feet there. This is a good way to do it. So you can use your thumb and finger here. Relaxed gaze. The breath is still relaxed as well. Again, it's a little bit of a dance between you and the rod. And try either foot. You can move to the left foot. Again, really center yourself over 4 corners of the right foot first. Feel yourself clearly connected to the ground. And then relax. So the next place that we're going to move to in this toe balance progression with the rod is to do a kick up after we have a balance. There are 2 safety factors we want to show in the kick up. One is the piston movement of the knee with the lower limb staying perpendicular to the floor, perfectly perpendicular the whole time. This causes the rod to stay perpendicular as well. Doing that incorrectly would be to leave the leg straight and to try to kick the rod up, which would tend to kick it toward the face. The other way we block that, just in case a student misunderstands the directions, is to have the hand here, so if the person were to kick the rod, then it would bounce off the hand. So in slow motion, if they were to kick the rod this way and it would tend to come here, the hand acts as a block and knocks the rod away from the face. So here's what it would look like in faster motion. Do it a couple of times. One more time. So once the students can do that, we practice this piston motion a few times. We'll go into the balance, give it a lift, and put it on the palm of the hand. Now an advanced version, which is a little bit tricky, and we'll see if it works, is to drop it back down to the foot, which you'd be welcome to try. But the first part of this is lifting, putting it on the hand. And just for fun, I try to put it on the foot. And try with both feet. So give that piston lift, the balance piston lift into the left hand. And just for fun, even if it lands on the foot, it's kind of fun. So the next part of this progression is turning from the vertical balancing series to a horizontal balancing. You place the rod on the side of the head. And if the rod is shimmering a little bit, when it stops, have a sense that it's equally balanced on the right and the left. There's equal weight. If that's the case, then start a very slow descent toward the floor. I start by just taking a gentle step forward, bending the knees. If the rod starts to fall, just stop and see if it can regain its balance. If it doesn't, you just come right back up to the top and start over. So mine falls, I just come back up and find the balance point there. And I repeat the steps. 1 step, relaxing down to the floor. Then I find a right hand, fingers on the floor, left hand, fingers on the floor. I slide the legs forward. And then I relax myself just as far as you can down. Until the rod would fall off if you went any further. And from there, a little lift back up. And then let one knee bend in. If the rod starts moving, you just stop and let it relax for a minute. No hurry with this. It helps students to learn patience. Know where to get to. You're right where you need to be. And begin the movement again. If it starts to move again, you can just come to stillness wherever you are. Enjoy right where you are in the process. Then we simply practice stepping one step backward, coming back to center, and then one step forward, coming back to center. Take a step to the left, back to center. This is the adolescent's life, falling off balance, forward, backward, and side to side. If you're feeling a little playful with your friends, you can play a game of tag where one person raises their hand and they're the tagger, and the others start to move away from them. And as you're coming towards someone, if I identify Justin as someone I want to tag, if his rod falls, then he would become the tagger. And I could either not be the tagger anymore, or the two of us could be taggers, and we could both come toward Valerie. And we show that by raising our hands. Now, if my rod drops as I'm seeking her, I must stop, put my rod back on my head. I can't chase her. Justin could continue to chase her, however, but I can't chase her until the rod's back on my head. Then I raise my hand again, and I would come toward her. And that's posture tag. Good. And that's the end of the balancing series for the rods. So this is an exercise from the spatial dynamics training with Jamin McMillan called falling trees. The way that it works is we're all going to stand in a circle. We're going to place our right index finger on the top of the rod, keep the rod as upright as we can. We're going to turn facing clockwise. And the release for this is, as much as possible, going to be such that the person behind us is able to catch the rod. So if the rod falls out of alignment, then it falls either to the outside or back toward the person. So this 90-degree quadrant right here, we don't want it falling to the inside or falling forward or away from the person, such that they have to lunge at it. The way that we'll do this is to stand together, and I'll count, and 1, 2, 3. On the word 3, you'll move forward and take the rod in front of you. So it'll look a little bit like this, and just catch your own rod to show it. And 1, 2, 3. Release the rod, take the one in front. So let's all stand in a circle and begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The next step, after you've gotten a few in order, a few in a row, is to move to a 2 rhythm. We'll still move forward on a 2 rhythm. 1, 2. When someone drops a rod, as the leader, you take a moment, take a breath, find your feet again. The rest of the group finds themselves relaxing and ready. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Even with a near miss, you just take a moment. 1, 2. Now we're going to go backwards, so relax out of that, just to the one behind us. And time, we'll come back to it, but we'll practice this. So we're not going to stop, they're going to stop. And backwards, 1. Nice. On the 1 rhythm, and 1. We're turning up the heat here. We're going right to the 1 rhythm. We're off camera, so you guys can mess up. And 1. 1. 1. 1. Nicely done. That was lovely. I'm impressed. We're going to skip 1 behind us. That one that we just did was the falling trees going backwards on the 1 rhythm going behind us. Now we'll go back to the 3 rhythm, and we'll take the rod one opposite. So skip one and disregard whatever I just said before that. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Engage your cat-like reflexes. So I find myself even sliding a little bit with my feet rather than doing a step. Just too much time to take a step. Yeah, so I do a little bit of and a little derriere shuffle. Same thing. On 3, we're going to skip 1. 1, 2, 3. So the most important thing in this whole exercise is what?
Move.
No. That's why it's not working.
Send it. Think of the person that's
Leave it for your partner. So if you pay attention to your own rod and the beautiful motion of it going, your rod will be there for you because your partner did that for you. If you even do it once with a group, they usually get it. It's like, okay, it's really important for me to pay attention to what I have what? What I have control over. I have no control over Jane's rod and the way she drops it. I can tell her John Blue in the face, hey, would you drop it so, and she can still go, sure. Right? So the 6th grader needs to know what they're in control of. Uprightness in themselves and no one else. So this activity is called salmon spawning. We're going to remain in a circle facing clockwise like we were. The way that we'll start the activity will be in partners, however. With your partner, what you'll do is you'll stand with the fingertips underneath the rod, the thumbs to the inside, with the rod parallel to the ground. And the call will be and, up, down, over. On over, you throw the rod just slightly up over the head. There'll be a person behind me who will catch it, ideally right where my arms and the rod was in front of me. So if it's here, if I throw it, it should also be there. Once we practice with a partner, then we'll get together in groups of 3 with 2 rods. The first 2 people will have the rods, and we'll do and, up, down, over, which will mean then the last 2 will have the rods, and then we'll turn all to the right, and then the 2 in the front will have the rods, and we'll continue with up, down, over. We'll turn to the right. Once we've grooved that, then we'll add more and more to the group until we're all in a long line, doing up, down, over. Then we'll fold it into the circle, which is how we started with the falling trees like this, except now instead of a vertical balance exercise, we're doing a horizontal, and we have to curve the rod a little bit as we throw it up over the head because we're in a circle. The progression for that is that we'll actually take 3 steps. Every time we say up, down, over, we'll go up, down, over, and the 4th call will be the word together, so that we can always start on the right foot. So let's get into a circle, and we'll begin. And up, down, over. Nicely done. And up, down, over. You feel there's a little twist to your throw now. And up, down, over. Alex has a question. Hang on for just a moment.
So I'm a little scared for my safety in my face because some of the throws are too high.
Good. Great question. So when this happens, then you simply tap the person on the shoulder and say, I'm getting him here. And then she'll adjust. So feel free to talk to your partner. If I see that happening, I'll wait. So talk to your partner for a moment here.
Yes.
And now talk to your other partner because, right? Make sure you talk to the people on both sides of you. Make sense? Tell them what you need. And if they give you what you need, then you just turn around and give them a quick smile after they throw it. So you get some confirmation there. And up, down, over. Check with your partner on both sides. Get what you want, smile. and up, down, over. Check with your partner again. Did you get what you want? How's it going? Good. This is really important 6th grade level communication. Ask for what you need, and other people will respond if they can do it. And up, down, over. How's it feeling? That was pretty solid. Let's add the stepping. So we're going to step in a circle. It's going to be right, left. Here we go. By the way, the first time, no one throws the rod. So all you're doing, folks, is up, down, keep the rod. All right? Yes?
When we step right, left, do we stop on the next right? When we throw, do we stop, or are we continuing to walk?
Oh, you will stop. Thank you. Yeah. She's in the advanced school. So I'll show it again. You're going to go to yourself. Do not throw the rod. Everybody repeat that?
Do not throw the rod.
So important. So important. The person behind you is trusting that you heard that. And right, left, hold the rod. So you imagine throwing it again. And right, left, do it a couple more times. And pretty good. I'm hearing some good stepping together. One more time. And we're ready. There's some creep. There's a creep factor. Okay. Let's open up just a little bit, watching to note that here we have a bigger gap, and this is typical. You feel how challenging it is to keep a nice, an even circle. We're already a little oblong because the room is pushing us thus. You feel that? So you have to counteract that a little bit at the edges, and then on these spots here, the pinch spots, make sure you have a little bit of breathing, keeping yourself, you move in a circle. Yeah? All right, so at the ready, this time, folks, we're going to go right, left, right. The rod goes over to the person behind you. Any questions? Yes?
Do we stop after that?
You do stop after that. Thank you. Feet are together. And right, left, over. Nicely done. Woo! All right, so this activity is called Pony Riders or Blind Run. The way it works is you have a partner, and here's my partner, Justin. He's going to stand in front of me, facing the same direction I'm facing. So he's going to turn. He holds the rods just in the palms of his hands as I do, and there are several different possibilities for this. The easiest one is that the person in the back closes his eyes. So I close my eyes, and Justin would start to walk around the room and guide me. So that's stage number one. Stage number two, once I feel comfortable, we could start actually jogging around the room. And stage number three, we could run at a full run. We could do this either inside or outside with impediments in the natural world outside. The next stage is for the person in front to close his eyes, and we go through the same sequence. We walk around, so we're simply walking. Stage two, we can be jogging, so we start to jog. And stage three, you're running at a full run. And we can also add obstacles and impediments, and we can start to use hand signals. If I want Justin to turn to his right, then I push forward on the left rod. If I want him to go to the left, I push forward on the right. If he needs to duck under a tree branch, I push down with both rods. If he needs to step up on his right foot, I push up and he steps up with the right foot. Same with the left. And if we need to slow down, I gently pull back on the rods. There are all sorts of things that you can develop between your partners to choose that. Are you ready, Justin? I'm going to close my eyes and let's go. Good. The next exercise is a rod somersault. So I take a wide-legged stance. Nice ring. I put my hands on the outside of the rod. The person who's going to do the somersault, or the backward roll, actually, is going to take his hands to the inside. We turn. My wide-legged stance allows the back of his butt to be in the small of my back. He relaxes his head onto my Yes, that's it. So I feel some connection, but I lost your butt in the small of my back. So I back up a little bit more to him. I've got to have that. Got to have that connection. He's relaxed on my back to start. The spotters are going to be spotting hips and shoulders, and he tucks and rolls. Very controlled. We'll show it one more time. Turning. This time with a little more fluid motion, but no percussion, Mr. Gymnast. Here we go. So the fluid motion, go all the way around. Here we go. Good. Good. So the way that we'll break this down is these two will now be next, and we'll spot them. So the spotters become the participants. You two open for this?
Sure.
Okay.
Which one do you? I'll be the lifter.
Okay.
You'll be the lifty.
Okay. Turn. Clint takes a wide-legged stance, and he's already there.
I banged heads.
That's all right. You banged heads because he's going to have a little more muscle extension there when he comes around to bring him. You're establishing a fulcrum here. If you don't do it, we'll do it as spotters. Try again. So the spotter comes here, the hand here, and on the hip if he needs help getting over. Boom.
Is that better?
One more time. Ask him. He's the one going over. He's got to feel safe.
I can't see what's going on.
That one was lovely. One more time. Wide-legged stance. The butt comes into the small of the back. Whoosh. Nice and solid. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to do rod dancing now. We start with partners. So we have two people who will get together, face each other, and then place your rods parallel to the ground with the palms touching with both of the rods. So at no point are you really going to close your fingers or try to grip the rods. You're really going to sense each other through the rods here. And this is one of the blessings of working with the rod. It becomes like a bone, and your hand becomes like the tendons of the body. You feel a connection with the other person, but you don't push them too hard, and you don't relax such that you drop the rod. We don't want to drop the rod. We keep a connection. So these two find the connection. It's called rod dancing because they can step over the rods if they'd like. They could do a full pirouette if they'd like. And they can open or close their eyes if they'd like. And they can work with different arm configurations depending on their level of flexibility. And then, when two have worked together for a while, they can close their eyes. We can add a third so that a third member comes in simply by adding this. Then we can go to 4. We can go to 5. Eventually, the whole group is together. Eyes open, eyes closed. If we need pressure, we call pressure and push. I say, Valerie, pressure, because I need more pressure. She gives it to me. Justin, pressure. So I feel that connection between my partner on either side, and then I feel comfortable moving in different directions. Eventually, when the whole group is together, you can close your eyes, tie yourselves up in a knot as much as possible. We'll just show a little bit of that here. You won't see a whole lot of it with 3, but if I put this over his head, and then I put this over, you start to see the possibilities for knotting things up. Then we would ask the group to close their eyes, so we all close our eyes, and without anybody getting bumped or injured, we try to figure out how to undo ourselves. Now with 3, it's quite easy, but you can imagine with 30, it becomes quite a bit of a challenge. When I say 3, we're going to grab the rod in the right hand after we get out of this mess that we're in. One, 2, 3. So the next thing we're going to practice is rod passing. And it's really more of a push than a throw. The push comes with the index finger on the back of the middle of the rod, and then the fingers to one side and the thumb to the other. It's a light grip on the rod. And you're going to take a step forward with the same foot and simply push it across to your partner. So this is stage 1. I throw it from my right hand to his left hand. You see he gives it a nice push where it comes straight across and it doesn't go up and down. Throw it up and down for a second. I'll throw it up and down. If I'm a little hesitant, I throw it like this. The tendency is for the rod to land either on the ground or on Justin's toe. So I want to have a nice firm push, and then I really want to follow through, watch my hand, follow through the direction I'm going. This is stage 1 of the rod passing. Stage 2 will be when Justin feels comfortable enough that I've been able to throw it right in the palm of his hand, and he finds his palm naturally closes on it. Then he closes his eyes, keeps his thumb out of the way, and I aim directly for the palm of his hand, and with his eyes closed, the palm closes, the fingers close around the palm. So then I'll do the same thing. I'm ready, and he throws the rod in my hand. Once we feel comfortable enough with this, then I will close my eyes as I'm throwing. He'll keep his eyes open for safety. I mark where the hand is, I close my eyes, and I throw. When we feel comfortable with that, I close my eyes as the receiver for stage 4, and he closes his eyes as the thrower as well. He marks the hand, we close our eyes, he throws. Now we repeat the build-up with 2 rods at the same time. The next thing we're going to do is called the zigzag. We're going to stand in 2 rows over here, facing one another. So we'll be in partners, but in rows, and in a tight row. Each of us will hold the rod in our right hand, now that we've practiced throwing with our partners, with this rod push we just did. The way that it will work is we'll zigzag back and forth. I'll throw to Justin's left hand, he'll immediately throw to my left hand, and then the rows all the way down, we'll do the same thing. Valerie will throw with the right, so it'll be right, 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 all the way down. And then when we get to the end, we'll stop. A variation of that is that you'll zigzag going the opposite direction, going back up. But we're going to use this as a preparation for the gauntlet, which we're going to do afterwards. So let's give it a try. Starting from the top, we'll take our time. We'll go nice and slowly. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, no, always here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Rods in the right hand, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You guys got it? Your odds on this side, even on this side. Here we go. Rods are at the ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Tip of the nose. Now we're moving from the rod zigzag to the rod gauntlet. The rod gauntlet happens when I walk down the middle of this row and you pass this thing right in front of my nose.
Right.
Got it? I'll show you the pace I'm coming at. I'll start slowly. Ready? So don't throw it until it's in front of my nose, Jennifer.
That's right. Okay.
Hey! If you're performing, it's really nice if you put some glow tape around here. Everyone dresses in black and you kill the lights on the stage, and you see how important it is to still throw the rod even if it's coming behind the person. The other thing you can do, if you get pretty good at it, is you can throw the rod, cross it over, and throw it again behind the person. So you're throwing it right in front of his nose. You're getting the rod in your left hand, you bring it over to your right hand and immediately throw it back as the person throws it back to you. You have double the amount of rods coming back and forth on stage. It's a pretty neat phenomenon. Once the person gets very comfortable walking, they can begin to pick up the pace until they're running full speed through the gauntlet. They can also do it moving backwards. The way that you do that is to have the leader standing in front of the person who's walking backwards. That helps the person who's going to be walking backwards to stay walking down the middle of the gauntlet line rather than shifting and running into one of the rows or the other row. The other variation is you can have 2 individuals, one moving, and once they're 3 deep in the line, the other person coming. This means that you have to throw right, left, right, and then you have to do it again, right, left, right. And again, if you want to turn up the heat a little bit, you can go back and forth twice with each of the individuals who are coming through, and it presents quite an effect. It's quite a challenge and quite a focus. So the next exercise we're going to do is called the human ladder, and it moves into Stairway to Heaven. The way it works is we have partners, again, in 2 rows, just as we had for the gauntlet and the zigzag. You're going to hold 2 rods with your partner, so their rod and your rod together. They'll be directly across from you with your hands like so. The knees are soft, and the legs are about shoulder width apart. And you want to take the weight when it comes to you through the legs and keep the back upright but not stiff. The way that this will work in terms of safety is that there'll be a walker who's going to stand on one set of 2 rods at a time going across in the human ladder. He'll be spotted, or she'll be spotted by someone on both sides holding her hand. If the walker should fall, then all the individuals on this side will hear the leader say, go, and they'll immediately pull the rods down to vertical to allow the individual to step down onto the mat. Except, of course, the set of rods that the individual is standing on. You won't pull those away, or the person will drop down quite quickly and not so happily. So after you've practiced with the human ladder, you can alter the height so that the first holders of the 2 rods have it very low. The next one's a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, higher and higher. Depending on how many people you have, you can move as high as you can comfortably spot the individual. Sometimes you actually have to, the spotters have to stand on both sides with a rod that the individual holds on to. So it becomes quite dramatic. Then they can either step down the other side, or they can go backwards to come this direction, depending on how many pairs you have in the rows. Finally, the third thing you can do is called the infinite ladder. And that happens when you have the ladder, and as soon as the person walks across the first 2, the 2 of us walk around and place our rods at the end of the ladder. So the ladder never ends, and it could make a circle or be labyrinthine or go out the door, but the walker gets to walk all the way around the room because the individuals are constantly peeling off and moving around. So let's give that a shot. The human ladder moving into the Stairway to Heaven, and then we didn't show it, but the infinite ladder. Now you have it in your imagination to try for yourselves. Here we go. Okay, now wait. See how everybody does this? We're back here, we're like, step in. No. I'm right here, and I step right here. Get nice and close. Just, yeah, that's it. Use your friends. Get nice and solid there, and then when you're ready, we've got you. Would you like to go backwards, Alex?
Sure.
Okay, here it comes. Watch the tip of the foot. You're almost, there we go. Lovely.
Thank you.
Someone else. All right. So the Stairway to Heaven part of this is that you actually have it going up and then down, depending on how many people you have. So he starts a little lower. You start a little bit higher. He's going to go up. And then you go up as, who feels strong and can get at the end? And good, so Dale and your partner feel strong too, Teresa? Yeah. Okay. Who else feels strong? You guys could probably do it. Mm-hmm. You know, where he's going to be up at the end.
And then he's going to come back? He's not going to jump
No,
down?
he's not going to jump from there. So whoever feels more comfortable with it lower, stay on this end. Shift yourselves.
Yeah, these are really soft. That's definitely fine.
Aren't there extras?
I'm afraid they're going to go. Do you want to switch one for one?
They're low enough that it's going to be fine. I've never seen 2 rods snap even pine.
But we're just noticing that this one actually
It gives.
Switch then. Are these okay? Are they different
Do one
sizes?
for one.
There we go. Okay, Will, you ready? Ready. Kevin's ready? Stairway to Heaven. So he feels a feeling of rising up.
Down a little bit. There we go.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hang out there for a second, just feel that. Come forward so you can stand. Step backwards. I got you. That's it. Wait for us. We got to come around. Okay. Feel the descent?
Yeah, that's nice.
Isn't that nice?
It is.
130? 130, 140?
Lovely. Nicely done, nicely done. Good. So what we've done here today is about 25 different exercises that will allow you to practice balancing, partner exercises, whole group exercises, working with the rod. Particularly helpful starting in pre-adolescence in grade 5 and moving all the way through to adulthood. It's been a pleasure working and playing with you. I wish you many hours of fun and education in working with this wonderful, wonderful prop. Thank you.